US betrays its allies. Canada and EU hit back as trade war erupts. Who will pay the price? In recent weeks, President Donald Trump has imposed 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and the EU destined for US. This has led to tensions which has escalated in recent days to a full-blown trade war between the United States and its closest allies, Canada and the European Union. This unexpected shift has left many analysts questioning the long-term implications for international relations and global markets. The U.S. government, under the banner of protecting domestic industries, has implemented a series of tariffs and trade restrictions that have left Canada and the EU feeling betrayed and cornered. The backdrop to this conflict is rooted in a complex web of economic interdependence. The US, Canada, and EU countries share not only trade agreements, but also long-standing political alliances. The introduction of tariffs by the US has sparked outrage among Canadian leaders and EU officials, who argue that such measures undermine the spirit of cooperation that has characterized transatlantic relations for decades. In retaliation, both Canada and the EU have announced their own tariffs, targeting a range of US goods. Canada, for example, has imposed duties on American steel and aluminum, while the EU has targeted US agricultural products, including bourbon and motorcycles. These moves signal a significant shift in diplomatic relations, as allies turn against one another in an escalating tit-for-tat. The ramifications of this trade war are profound. Economically, both sides stand to lose, as increased tariffs lead to higher prices for consumers and reduced competitiveness for businesses. In the U.S., farmers and manufacturers that rely on exports to Canada and the EU are already feeling the pinch. Conversely, Canadian and EU businesses that depend on U.S. markets face similar challenges. The ripple effects could also extend to global supply chains, further complicating an already intertwined global economy. Politically, the trade war raises questions about the future of U.S. foreign policy. With China looming as a significant competitor, the U.S. risks alienating its closest allies at a time when unity is essential. The loss of trust may hinder collaborative efforts on pressing global issues such as climate change, security, and trade reform. As leaders from Canada and the EU seek to navigate this new landscape, the question remains, who will ultimately pay the price? The answer is complicated. Consumers in all three regions may face increased prices, while businesses may struggle to adapt to new trading conditions. In the long run, the damage to diplomatic relationships could take years to mend, potentially reshaping alliances that have stood the test of time. In conclusion, the trade war between the US, Canada, and the EU not only threatens economic stability, but also challenges the foundations of international diplomacy. As the situation continues to evolve, the world watches closely, hoping for a resolution that prioritizes cooperation over conflict.